Hey everyone, today is July 21st, 2012. I am right now outside of Carlisle, Illinois. I'm on my own currently. I've been walking yesterday and today and probably the next few days without Carrie. She had a test to take in St. Louis. She's staying there with a couch surfing connection now until I get there. So let me just catch you up to what's been happening since the last update. I stayed with John and Becky. We had a great time. We stayed there actually for 2 days, and we miss you guys a lot. It was just really fun hanging out with you and talking. We stayed up really late. We've actually been doing a lot of that lately, staying up late, talking to the people that we meet and stay with, and so that's why updates are very few and far between. Wi-Fi is hard to come by whenever you're on the move, just going and going and going. Also, I'm trying to keep the camera a little bit steadier. Someone told me that I move it around too much. But from there we walked to Shoals. It was kind of a cool thing. It was like in the movies where you know, two people like almost run into each other and then they see each other later in the movie. That kind of happened. We were in Shoals in a diner, and I ran into a guy. I'm not going to mention his name so I can tell more about his story. He's been having a really rough life, drugged out mother, very hard life. He's only 20 years old. He's about to have 3 children. He came to the Lord. He got saved about 4 years ago, but yeah, he's fallen away from it, and he said that running into us just was an incredible blessing. John had actually given me this cool cross. It's made out of nails, and you're supposed to pass it on to the next person. I thought I was gonna hold on to it for a while and pass it on to someone down the line, but this guy that I ran into in Shoals ended up being that person, and yeah, it was great. I'm trying to keep everything short for the sake of short video. We stayed with Annette Taylor that night. It was kind of cool running into her. She had actually stopped us on the side of the road to give us something earlier, and then we ended up just right in front of her house later. It was really cool. We had a great time with you, Annette. We miss you, but I gotta keep moving on. Oh, thanks, Annette, by the way. We were walking from her house into Lagodi that next morning, and that was a Saturday, so the post office closed at 12. We ended up getting into town at 11:45, but missing the post office somehow. But I was able to pick up my phone there because she knew the person at the post office, so thank you. I have my phone again. You can either reach me or Carrie. Both of our numbers are on the website. Let's see, then we walked to Washington. We stayed at a motel there, thanks to one of the local churches. Again, we never ask for any of these things, but if it's offered to us and we haven't had any prior arrangements, then usually we'll accept it. But we never go and ask people for these things. Somehow it just happens, and it's glorious the way God provides. The next day we walked to Vincennes. We stayed in another motel there. We actually got to stop and see Spider-Man that day. It was pretty awesome. By the way, it was very sad to hear about what happened yesterday in Colorado at the midnight showing of Batman. You probably know what I'm talking about if you're watching this soon after I do this update. And our prayers go out to all the victims there. So from Vincennes, we crossed over into a different time zone. That was cool. So now we're an hour behind everyone on the East Coast. So the sun's setting a little bit earlier here. So after this video update, I'm going to try and keep walking, have about another 8 or so miles to get to my destination today. And so that's why I won't be writing a lot in the blog post, just trying to get the video out. Yeah, I'm as you can see, I'm at a McDonald's using their Wi-Fi. But anyway, walked to Sumner that night, I believe. We actually, it was kind of crazy the way things happened. Dialed some sort of wrong number, I think. Got in touch accidentally with one of the church's pastor's wife's in town, and she was able to hook us up with her neighbor who had a guest house that we stayed in that night. That was us staying with the Tennis family, and it was so cool to stay with those guys. It was so blessed, and we still keep in contact with them. We try to keep in contact with everyone that we meet. It's just so, I mean, these are like lifelong friends. It's great. We miss all of you guys, and all you who see us on the side of the road and we talk to and we develop a quick friendship. We still miss you just as much. But moving on from there, we stayed in Noble the night after that with Chad and Scott. Well, actually Chad, he saw us coming into town and he was like, hey, you should stay with my friend Scott. Scott is a fellow couch surfer that we met somehow without going on to couch surfing, so that's kind of cool. Chad was a really cool guy to stay with. Just that night staying at Chad's house, or Scott's house, Chad and his wife came over, and it was a good time to talk with them about faith and those sort of things. Not exactly believers, but it was just a good time to at least witness, and so that was always, that kind of thing is always you know, that's something that you want to run into. So that was good. From there we went to Flora. We were in a library and one of the local pastors walked in and he was like, hey guys, what's going on? And I asked him if there was a place to tent out in town, and he said, you know what, I'll just put you up in a motel. So that was another chance that we got to stay in a motel. It was great. We ended up sleeping in a lot the next day, so we didn't get a lot of ground covered the next day. That's where we met Debbie, the woman who gave Carrie a ride into St. Louis yesterday. Thanks again, Debbie. But we also met Pastor Rodney Payne. It was cool talking to him. We talked to him for about an hour and a half. Let's see. From there, we went to Iuka, Illinois. That was a different night. I mean, it was a small town, so we just kind of stayed in the park. It was our first time tenting out in like 2 or 3 weeks. So that was cool. But Carrie left in the morning. That was yesterday morning. So yesterday, I myself walked from Iuka to Salem, then on to Sandoval. But in Salem, I was stopped by a guy while I was walking down the street. I was holding my cross, and he was like, hey, I gotta take you to the local newspaper. So I ended up getting interviewed, and the second interview gave me a great chance to witness to someone. I'm not gonna go too into detail about that, but let's just say that all these meetings have a purpose. All these meetings where I chance meet someone on the side of the road and then that leads to something. It's just great to see how God works things out and that sort of thing. I do attribute it all to God. And so I walked into Sandoval that night. It was really late, really dark. Not too dark, but I ended up staying in the garage of a local church. They have a little ministry there where they give out like clothes items and stuff like that, and so that's cool. I got to stay in their little spare garage, and it was nice. So today I walked from there to Carlisle. That's where I'm at right now. Probably going to be walking onto Breese or Breeze, I don't know, B-R-E-E-S-E, Illinois tonight. I met a lot of cool people yesterday in Salem though. But just meeting great people all along the way, and I just wanted to give everyone an update. Again, call us. We'd love to hear from you. Email us. It's just an awesome adventure, and I wish everyone was here to experience it. So I try and put everything in the video and on the blog. It's going to take a lot of reflection after this summer and next summer. I'm gonna try and get it all out into the blog eventually, but for now it's just the video. So hope everyone's doing great. Love you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the prayers. One last thing, the one woman we ran into a couple videos back, remember, like half the summer ago, Amanda Bybee, the correctional officer, her son got in a bad car accident the early part of this month, and I just learned about it a couple days ago. And the night that I learned about it, Carrie and I were praying about it, and and it's great to see how God answers prayers. The next day he woke up and he was able to breathe on his own. I'm not attributing that to my prayer. You know, I'm not saying that's because of me. I'm saying God is good. That's all I'm saying. So God bless you all. We love you. Even though Carrie's not here at the moment, we love you. Grace and peace.